So my name is Peggy Black, and I was originally assigned to the healthcare vertical as the content marketing manager, but I've been shifted over to driving, and it's been a great ride. I've been here for about 9 months, coming up on 10, but it's been a lot of fun.
My name is Bree Barsina. I am the content marketing manager for the real estate vertical. I've been here for more than 3.5 years at this point. It's been awesome.
I like to think of us as the long game salesperson. So basically, content marketing is creating the materials that connect the right customer to the right product at the right time. If I was going to say it all in jargon, it would be it's the strategic creation of consistent, relevant, and valuable digital marketing materials that help move the customer through the purchase journey by supporting brand awareness, highlighting product benefits, and meeting the customer's needs. And all of that to say that the content that we create can range anything from articles, landing page copy, white papers, research studies, videos, and 100 billion other things that we do. But essentially, at the end of the day, it's really connecting the customer with our product at the right time.
There's also the SEO side of content marketing, where we have to convince Google that we are, in fact, the best site for potential students. Essentially, if we can't convince Google that we know what we're talking about, then Google can be a brat and make us less visible to our audiences, which then is a whole problem in itself. So there's the creative and the technical.
Talking broadly, right now our team is small. We have the two of us, me and Bree, as the content marketing managers, and then our awesome coordinator. Beyond the surface of our team, we manage a team of several freelance writers and editors.
Aceable has such a unique dynamic that the content marketing team is part of the greater SEO team. I don't know if people realize this, but in most companies, that's not exactly the case. This allows us to combine our creativity, our technical skills in a way that really challenges us, but also attacks Google and our audiences from this awesome point of view. And the dynamic really keeps us on our toes.
Aceable's performance-driven culture pushes our content marketing minds to straddle the line between the persuasion and SEO information. So basically, this is really different from other companies that I've worked for, because we not only need to answer the questions, which is that our customers are asking, which is like SEO, right? But we also have to show them how our product is the solution to their problem, which is sales. So we do this in a few ways, but the top three that I think of is the cross-functional collaboration amongst other people in the company, so we can really get a clear view of the product. Obsessively looking at data. Bree and I are looking at data every single morning. We start our day with, data and coffee. Like that's our day. And then most importantly, we have to step into the shoes of the customer. Like you can't sell a product to the customer if you don't know who they are and what they need. So we partner with the technical SEO, social, and PR, which are all under the SEO umbrella, which are part of the greater marketing team. But outside of marketing, we partner closely with the learning experience and UX design teams.
Our two verticals are extremely different markets and audiences, so our strategies look drastically different. That being said, there are usually 3 buckets of ways that we measure success. Those tend to be 1, ranking and traffic. Are people seeing our content? Are they finding our site? Are they finding it helpful? The second is links, which basically means that third parties are finding our content exciting or helpful, and they're spreading the word. And then lastly, we are marketing, so conversion is a huge factor for success. Conversion is basically when someone comes to our site and decides to purchase the product and makes the purchase. Simple as that. Can we convince them that we are the right choice for them? Content marketing can really be a game of chess against Google, and having the ability to keep a level head and remain unbiased to your own work is really important. Sometimes it really just requires falling back on the basics and being a strong writer and being able to read a page through not only a customer lens, but an SEO lens as well.
And I think if I was going to talk about it broadly, there are really three things that come to mind that you require to be successful. So the first one is empathy. I cannot harp on this more. It's hard to sell a product to someone if you don't know what their needs are. I think the next one that's important is a research first mindset. You have to understand your audience, the brand, and the product in order to create a successful strategy. And then last but not least, SEO best practices. You can make all the content in the world, but if Google can't rank it and can't connect it to the right audience, you've accomplished nothing. Yeah, I think the best value that describes the content marketing team is seek to understand. So much of what we do requires us to have a 360-degree view of the business, departments we impact, the customer, and so many other aspects, none of which work if we aren't consistently asking questions, learning from other people, and keeping an open mind.
I also think there's a level of exhibit grit. In the 3+ years that I have been here, we've seen a great deal of hot messes on the content team that range from outrageous inherited content to Google just being a bully. And we've had to find really creative ways to combat and persevere. And it's genuinely been a wild ride. I can go on and on about the Google algorithm updates, but I would just sound like a broken record. So some of the biggest challenges outside of that we face, especially in the last year, and this is strictly a real estate issue, but it's compliance. So Trek in particular really cracked down on the way that real estate schools can market themselves. And we had to conduct an audit on our entire site to ensure we were compliant. And now the big challenge we face is how do we stand out while also maintaining these compliance rules that are very restricting? To call it a challenge, it might be an understatement.
Just about anything that's public facing content, right? So landing page optimizations and enrichment, blog articles, and really any types of written content, messaging. And then we even sit in on email content planning. Really, we're kind of plug and play is the way I like to think of content marketing managers. We're here to help make sure, along with the PR team, that our voice is consistent, that the message is consistent, and that we properly represent the company and all of the products. We're the closest to that messaging every day, reviewing articles, landing pages, things like that. And so we try to make sure that we plug in anywhere we can be useful, especially with our backgrounds in writing and our backgrounds in PR and social media. To be a content marketing manager, you kind of had to have done all the things in order to advise on all the things. And so I think we can provide a lot of value and direction when it comes to anything written that's going out to the public.
Honestly, we receive a lot of social media requests, and although we're genuinely happy to help you and hear your ideas, it's not really our wheelhouse, and the PR team and social team, which are one and the same, are definitely the right people for that one. Things that do come our way that we can tackle for the greater business include things like landing page changes, whether it's working on value props, updating information for CX, or finding new ways to describe and test new course features or website features. Those are all right in our wheelhouse, and we're happy to help. There have been a lot of changes recently that have occurred, particularly our collaboration with the rock stars on the LX team that have really helped us scale this year. Unfortunately, because our jobs are so intertwined with Google and the ongoing updates, unless someone has a magic Google predictor, we just have to keep playing the game. And that's the exciting part. And to be fair, that's personally why I love what I do, because the challenge is half the fun.
It's really simple. And the reason I wanted to kick it off is because I was that person who was like, I love to write. I think this is a best fit for me. I'd taken an internship and I was like, yeah, this is me. How do you get there? It feels really overwhelming. And so the first thing I tell everybody, go find a content marketing manager and pick their brain. You are welcome to pick my brain. I'm sure Bree feels the same. I am always open to answer questions on my career path, how I got here, and what you can do to start. The second thing that I always say is get acquainted with the basics of SEO and content marketing. You can literally go Google it. I think that the best places to start are HubSpot.com and LinkedIn Learning courses. We have LinkedIn Learning courses. Take advantage of them. There's so much out there on SEO best practices, content marketing strategy best practices. Just get yourself acquainted to decide if this is really something you like to do. And then I think last but not least on that is try your hand at writing an article that puts the customer in the forefront, right? So anybody can write a story, that's great. But what you need to do is actually find a product, use one of our products, sit down and say, okay, who's my customer? Who's my audience? What do I want to do? What do I want them to do? Write an article that's going to convince them and sell them on something that's unique and helpful. And I think once you try your hand at that, the more you can understand how to do those things, the better you will be at managing content.
I think something to keep in mind is that there are very clearly multiple paths a person can take to be a content marketer. I think you can tell just by the way Peggy and I have answered these questions that we are completely different. She comes from a creative background, has explored copywriting and demand gen, whereas my background is more technical with a strong emphasis in SEO and keyword research. But the underlying factor is that both of us love storytelling, even though we tell our stories in different ways. If that interests you, I 100% agree with Peggy, and the steps that she laid out are really a great start.